Hey guys, and welcome back to the Citadel with me, Daniel M. On this lovely Tuesday, we have got the second round of our latest club tournament. We had 15 players, which meant I joined in to make up to the 16th. You saw me absolutely bomb out in that last game, fall to the slew of tricks and lovely events that Richard had. So this time we have got Rebecca Gillard on the left playing Targaryen Crossing. Obviously Richard and Rebecca have been deck building together. And on the right we have got Greyjoy Banner of the Dragon, and I think it's Louie Clayton. But they are hands I do not recognise, so sorry about that, guys. Hopefully he'll lean forwards, whoever it is, in a little bit, and I'll be able to confirm who it is. So, slight irritation. Both players putting their agenda card underneath their house card. Went on a video. I didn't catch it on the day. It's quite irritating because it means that I actually have to go and try and talk to people to figure out what they're playing. But it's fine. It's fine. I'll reprimand them later and make sure that they suffer my wrath. So, Rebecca, both of them won their first game. This is obviously the second round. This is an interesting matchup. Two kind of very rushy decks, both with the kind of kill threat with the Greyjoy, I'm pretty sure it's Greyjoy Dragon, but the kill threat of Miri and the Seastone Chair being really effective, versus Targaryen, who obviously got Miri, and they've got Dracarys. And with that crossing agenda, they can obviously get that +2 strength on their third challenge with Miri. Use her in 2 separate challenges with Illyrio, so you've got some really nice synergy there for boosting her strength and for using her multiple times, so that's good. So, moving into setup, and I'm going to keep calling him Louie. I think it's Louie. But I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I failed you. I'm a twat. So, Louis on the right laid out his setup, showed off his card. Rebecca, one of the reasons I love commentating on her games is because she does do this really consistently, shows her hand. So, that's a lot of nice cards, but that doesn't look like it's going to give her a great setup. She's got all the things she wants to see. She's got the Dracarys, she's got the Fire and Blood to get her some draw, but unfortunately her setup is Recaro and a Rose Road. Oh, versus a Balon Reducer King's Road setup. So that is an absolutely amazing setup for Greyjoy, exactly the cards you want to see. If he has got a... not the raiding longship, Balon's warship, Great Kraken. If you've got Great Kraken in hand, get the card draw or the power gain, and stealth on Balon, he will be really happy. I think there's anything in Rebecca's deck that is going to stand up against Balon if he even gets 1 strength boost on Balon. Obviously there's Drogo, who's 5 strength as well. I think Recaro is only 4 strength, so despite having, I know with this Rebecca's crossing deck that she's running quite a few Blood Riders, potentially getting Intimidate, it's not going to be able to kneel Balon unless she's going first. Maybe if she goes first, pulls off a big military challenge or a power challenge, intimidates Balon, that could be quite useful. Oh, but she's got a Crown of Gold, so if she can find, and she's got a Dracarys. So the issue is if she plays the Crown of Gold on Balon, he's 1 strength. Louis then confiscates next turn, which means that it's gone straight away. Need to find some way to suck him into a challenge with the Crown of Gold on so he can Dracarys as well. Oh, Rebecca playing a trading with a Pitoshi, and Louie landing a summer harvest. So he's got all of the money, 15 gold plus the King's Road plus a reducer. So that's 18, 19 gold in theory on this turn. So wow, that's a lot of cards and a lot of gold, piling it up quite nicely in front of him. So we're probably going to see everything in Louie's hand. Let's see what we've got. There's an Iron Mines for definitely saw some more economy. I know he's running Captain's Daughter as a lovely little threat card. I think, as much as I know you guys see Greyjoy Dragon, and the first thing I think is Miri and Seastone Chair, lots of target to kill. I think this might be a pillage deck. I'm really sorry, but I think this might be a pillage deck. I remember Louie talking about this, and I played against him this week, and 3 times he triggered the reader to pillage my cards, to discard my cards from my deck rather than drawing cards. So we'll see what happens, but this could get interesting. So King's Road, in and out. Spending 4 more. Are we going to get Miri or no? Euron with a dupe. Oh, that's nice. So Euron is there, and Rebecca is maybe in a slightly awkward position. I like her call of trading. Yes, it's given Louie a lot of economy to play with, but if she'd had that Recaro march, she would need a lot of economy to be able to get out enough characters. Captain's Daughter, which is not good for Rebecca. Unfortunately, a lot of her Dothraki are non-loyal, so that is going to significantly hamper her ability to get out any of the bigger ones without having them bounce back to her deck. Just to be clear, guys, I don't mind the whole pillage, the way it's going, especially with like Captain's Daughter and the Crone. You can put a card back in the deck, and then you pillage it, and you use the Crone to kill it. Like, using pillage along with other abilities to kill things and to get off other triggers, that's brilliant. But it's pillage. Like, seriously, guys, you're never going to pillage someone's the whole deck. So the way to think about pillage at the minute, if you're not relying on any other triggers, is you're basically just discarding a random card, and that random card, yes, it may be on the top of their deck, but it might as well be their bottom card. It doesn't actually matter discarding it. The only card that ever matters when you discard it is the last card in their deck, because every other card is not getting you really any closer to winning. All you're doing is you're discarding a random card, and a bad player might psychologically become deflated and let it affect them if they see good cards being pillaged off the top of the deck. But when you're pillaging it, it might as well be the bottom card that they're never going to see anyway, so it doesn't actually matter. So Louie has used that 15 gold to get everything on the table. He has got Euron, Balon, Theon, a Captain's Daughter, and a Chud to kill, and he's got an Iron Mines. So even if Rebecca tries to kill something, he can save it with Iron Mines. So let's see the power of some burn, Rebecca. Let's see some things die. I think she's probably a little bit intimidated right now. The only thing Louie is now missing is Asher. If he wanted to start rushing next turn, he could. Like, if he got Great Kraken out and just got 3 unopposed challenge using all the stealth and using Balon, he would be absolutely sorted. We've got Danny, so he's going to reduce the strength of some of Louie's characters in challenges against her. So she's going to pay another gold, get out a Viserys so that she can discard attachments if she happens to need to, or just use him as a Chud. What else are we going to see? 3 more gold left. It's an intimidating board to be sat up against. I think she maybe just was wondering if he wanted to use the Captain's Daughter on the Viserys. I'm sure that would be fine. Let him remove from play while there's no attachments. But I don't think Louie's going to do that. And now I can see his jaw. That is definitely Louie. Hello, Louie. I'm glad I guessed your name right. Is she going to hold on to the 3 gold? So she's playing with 2 gold. Maybe got a Jorah. Maybe got a dragon. I hope she's got a dragon. That'd make that Dracarys very nice. Oh, the Iraq. To boost up his strength a bit. Now she's got all the icons she needs. If she's going second though, so if she loses a military, which she will do against Balon or Euron or even a stealth from Theon, Viserys is going to die. However, yeah, so she can't get off her crossing this turn. So, I mean, as you guys can see, this is a long game. This is going to go on a while. I mean, we're 10 minutes in, and first challenges phase hasn't started. But we'll power through. I've got a beer in my hand. I'm quite happy. So, what do I want to see Louie do here? I want to see him do a military challenge, stealthing Recaro with Theon. For 2, you get the unopposed, you get Theon trigger. I then want to see potentially an intrigue with Euron. Yeah. There's no Dracarys threat. Oh, yes there is. Theon is gone. Rebecca's sacrificing the use of Daenerys to kill off Theon. Trying to use the Iron Mines, but that doesn't work because you go to save Theon, his strength is still 0, and he is dead. So very nice there. Obviously, having the dragon would have been a more efficient way because she could have saved that kneel to kneel the dragon and kill Balon. But if she had the dragon, Louie probably would have been playing a little bit more defensively, just using the Euron. But that's 1 gone. Only Theon dead. Not too bad. That stopped the challenge as well, and she doesn't have to pay the claim. However, Daenerys is knelt. So that's thrown Louie a little bit, I think. You can see there here in his body language, he's not sure. However, I do think I remember seeing the Fire and Blood in Rebecca's hand, so she should have played that there, refilled her hand, tried to draw up into more of the events. But that was a nice use of Dracarys to protect her board state and stop her losing any characters. Well played. Just, yeah, had to kneel the character. Louie thinking about kneeling Balon to try and force through a challenge, but that Iraq is giving Recaro the added strength that he needs to be able to defend against Balon. So that nice play putting that Iraq on Recaro, actually. That really helps her to be able to defend against Balon. No shenanigans. Doing a power challenge with Euron and the Fishmonger. 6, 7. So this is something I've noticed in Louie's playstyle. Sorry, Louie, just yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm going to point it out. He often will only commit challenges, or if he can win a challenge by committing characters, he will commit the amount of characters he needs to win the challenge, rather than simply throw the Euron in and try and tempt Rebecca to over-defend it to win. He will use the number of characters that means that he will always win it, meaning that his opponent is more likely to just chump defend it or not defend it at all. So that power challenge didn't actually matter. There was no power to steal. The only thing he was going to get was unopposed and renown. So there was actually no real point him doing it. The only thing he really would have done, Rebecca didn't care about defending to win, so he might have well have just used the Fishmonger, or just used Euron. If he wanted the renown, just use Euron, get the renown, or Rebecca over defends. So he's overcommitted on the offense to ensure he wins without thinking about the consequences of what's the alternative? What would happen if I lose, if I don't win this challenge? It's not necessarily a bad thing to just throw a challenge you're going to lose anyway, if you think it means your opponent is going to kneel out more of their board to try and defend it. Louie defending the challenge with Balon. It's a strength 5 challenge with a Caro. And him using the Iron Mines to save his Chud. So that's interesting. Could have killed his Chud. The Captain's Daughter, not a terrible target to get marched if you have to. But it would have meant he wouldn't have been able to defend this power challenge. Why did Louie gain a power? Oh, dominance? Yes, Louie got a power there for dominance. And losing that money, moving into the next round. Now, as Rebecca, staring down a Captain's Daughter, a Balon, and Euron, what do you do? Maybe a summons? Search for a dragon, because that's really what you want to do, is you want to be able to be threatening that Dracarys. Maybe accounting coppers, draw some cards, or maybe she's got the cards she needs in her hand, and that's why she didn't play that funeral pyre. Sorry guys, I called it Fire and Blood. No, it's funeral pyre. That's why she didn't play the funeral pyre, because she's already got the cards she needs. So if she's got the cards she needs, we're going to see another economy plot. Louie just deciding, tempted by that calm by the looks of it, but I think he's going to probably go for that long winter. Long winter it is, against the calm. So Rebecca definitely going to call... So... Initiative is a draw because of the King's Road. Rebecca's got less power, so less power. Rebecca gets to choose. Trigger the power discard. And I think Rebecca will name military here. Rebecca's deciding to go second. And military, so going to invalidate that 2 claim on the military. Rebecca going second, Louie collecting his gold. Oh, even more economy. Cannot say he was starved for economy this day. Got everything he needed. Oh, got a sea stone. Unfortunately, duping it up. I think that sea stone would have been, that second sea stone would have been better in his hand as intrigue claim. But maybe he's completely emptying his hand this turn, so just doesn't wants to make the intrigue challenge completely irrelevant. Getting out a Handmaiden, so definitely that Dragon Banner. I quite like a Handmaiden in Greyjoy builds because you've got that Asher to potentially stand if she gets knelt somehow. Also gives you the icon, the intrigue icon that you're missing. Rebecca, that Calm over Westeros is almost an even better kind of economy plot in this situation, because the reason you wanted an economy plot would be to stabilize, get more on the board, but that Calm is going to protect the board you've got while allowing you to continue to set up. So good call on the plot there for Rebecca. Louie looking to keep pushing the pressure with that long winter. I think that Recaro on Rebecca's side is going to do a lot to help him there, to help Rebecca there. That's 6 strength, meaning that Louie is going to have to overcommit to the military using Euron and using Euron to try and push it through. And Rebecca going to save some money. Oh, and he'll be using that Captain's Daughter to say no to the dragon. Amazing use of Captain's Daughter. Yes, it's impacted his board state negatively. He's paid 4 to get rid of a 2/3 cost dragon, but what he's doing is he's not getting rid of the dragon, he's getting rid of the threat of Dracarys without kneeling Dany. So what he's doing is he's protecting his Balon. Because if Dany kneels to play the Dracarys, Balon is on 1 strength. Balon's fine. So there's nothing on his board that Dracarys at the moment will kill without Dany standing. So getting rid of that dragon is really important. Ooh. Louie, as I said, as he needed to, overcommitting on the military. So unless he's got 2 gold, so maybe a put to the sword. Put to the sword would be really bad for Rebecca here. Rebecca can defend for 7. Means that Louie is winning by 4. That's not enough. Rebecca just has to defend this and he can't get it off the put. So again, overcommitting on the offense without necessarily the payoff. Checking his hand, a really good high bet of Louie. One of the reasons I think he's one of our up-and-coming players in the club is he is always making sure he's checking his reactions, his actions, making sure he's playing any of them. Rebecca remembering her fire and blood this time. So Rebecca managing to draw her cards this time. Might have been more helpful triggering it off the Theon death, but that's fine. Just drawing up those 3, kneeling out a house guard. Unfortunately, I think Ricaro is pillaged. Getting rid of a lot of good characters. Not seeing any of the locations you would want to see though. Yes, he's got double renown there, but I think maybe using the characters separately, you could have forced the Ricaro kneel just with the Balon. You would have lost the challenge, but yeah, I don't think there's a negative. I think you could have got a tiny little power challenge there with the Iron Mines Fishmonger, and no power to claim. So Louie having forgotten about that. It's only 0 strength as well because Daenerys is standing, so that is a bit of a mistake on his behalf. Is he going to do an intrigue challenge? I imagine Rebecca probably wants him to, so that she can potentially get an unopposed intrigue or power challenge. What is Louie going to do? I think Rebecca... Normally I'd like to see her do the intrigue, take that last card out of Louie's hand, always a nice thing to do, but I think a power challenge. Yeah, Rebecca's going to do that intrigue. He loses a card, she gains a card. The card advantage of doing that is too great. The power would be nice, slow him down. What is the card? Oh, another Captain's Daughter. Probably quite happy to get rid of that. Oh. So, interesting thing, guys. Obviously, Captain's Daughter added the card back to the top of Rebecca's deck, the dragon. So, why did she... Why was the dragon not on the top of her deck when Euron's pillage came around? So that's quite interesting. Not sure how that happened, unless I've remembered Captain's Daughter wrong and it puts it on the bottom of the deck. No, it definitely puts it on the top of the deck. So don't know why Captain's Daughter was why the dragon wasn't on the top of her deck. Oh. If you can see why the dragon wasn't there, post in the comments below and just remind me, because I must have missed something. Louie sitting on 5 power to Rebecca's 0. I think it's quite clever, keeping yourself on 0 power, which is going to slow down the Greyjoy player a bit, because with no power to steal, while she continues to stabilise. Still got Daenerys and Ricaro, still got 2 good characters out. I think if Louie is playing March to the Wall, we'll see it this turn. to get rid of that Ricaro, because she's not going to get rid of Daenerys. Getting rid of Ricaro will mean that he'll be able to do get off his Balon shenanigans. So, relatively decent call, playing the confiscation, getting rid of the attachment, but Rebecca playing Rebecca playing Song of Summer and just showing us her hand because after playing Fire and Blood to put Viserys back into her deck, she draws Viserys, so that was nice for her. Louie still no attachments though, so maybe better to save that in case a dragon dies. We'll see. Get a raiding longship, meaning the getting rid of that attachment is even more impactful. Means that he'll be able to get more unopposed challenges and seeing a crone. So this is going to mean that the pillage and the intrigue challenges are going to mean a bit more now for Louie. Potentially going to impact the board a bit. And little Viserys back. What else is Rebecca going to get out? What can she do to deal with this board state? Getting a dragon out, having gotten rid of that captain's daughter out of Louie's hand means that Rhaegal is not under threat anymore. Now that I've seen it, I can tell you it's Rhaegal. 3 cost, military intrigue, 3 strength, very nice. Rebecca worried. She has got gold though, so if you're Louie, you've got to be wondering if the dragon is out to pay for the Dracarys. If Rebecca can Dracarys Balon with Daenerys standing, that will significantly alter the state of this game. Rebecca just double checking the raiding longship, making sure that how it works. Having gotten rid of one Dracarys with that Theon, I don't know if you play around Dracarys here. Military with Balon, I possibly would have thought about called it. Seeing that dragon out with money left over, I don't think I would have used Balon in the challenge. I think I would have done an intrigue with probably the crone, because then she has to defend with Daenerys or the dragon if she wants to defend it. If you get it through, you potentially pull the Dracarys. So I think using the intrigue challenge first there, with one of your chuds that you don't mind being Dracarys, would have been beneficial. Because either way of defending it, she wouldn't have been able to play the Dracarys and kill Balon there. So I think she needed to use some of his chuds there to try and push through some intrigue challenges. So, sorry Louie, I think that was the mistake that has changed this game. Being able to play around what you think your opponent has got is really key. Justifiably in a 60-card deck, there's no reason Rebecca would have seen the second Dracarys, statistically speaking, but you have to think that it's probably there. But 2 Dracarys gone. Louie now probably relatively safe. I doubt Rebecca's playing like rebuilding or something to put it. Is it rebuilding? Yeah, rebuilding to put it back into a deck. It would be a nice call, but I doubt that's there. And Louie passing. Now, Rebecca can get off all 3 challenges if she wants here. I think she does power with power with Viserys. No, I think you do the military. Doesn't make a huge difference. Maybe do oh no, you do intrigue with Daenerys, military with Rhaegal, power with Viserys. I think she does power with Viserys. Non-existent, doesn't really matter. I quite like with the crossing agenda when you do that, just to say power challenge. If your opponent doesn't see that it's... he sees... plays the mistake. Kneeling it to get the pillage trigger, getting a King's Road, but he didn't need to defend the challenge. That was a 0 strength power challenge. He gets the renown, fine, but using him Euron to defend either the intrigue or power probably would have been, the intrigue challenge would have been far more useful. Defending with the Handmaiden means Daenerys stands again. No hand to claim, but she's going to get the insight. And doing a military with Recaro, which is going to be unopposed for her. And she gets a crossing. And we have got power on the board for Rebecca. Now, after that Dracarys play, she's losing 6-2. But having killed Balon, I think she is in control of this game now. Recaro getting a power because the character died for claim, and in good situation. She now has the better board state. Rebecca complaining that she doesn't like the game anymore, but I think she is now spanking Louie. Daenerys, Recaro, and a dragon versus Euron and two Chudley things. Like, yeah, I think that mistake with the challenge with Balon has cost him the game. Sorry, Louie. Unfortunately, not playing around the risks. Moving into the next plot phase, I want to see Rebecca get a bit more aggressive here. I don't know how she's going to do that. Playing a summons to try and get Drogo. She wouldn't be able to play him though with only 5 gold. Playing summons anyway. Good call. I think if she can either Miri or Drogo here, then if she can protect her hand for next turn, be quite good. Louie playing Calling the Banners. Getting that 7 gold plus 2 more King's Road and a reducer, so 7, 10, 13, 14 gold. If he had some cards in his hand, that would be amazing, but he's kind of relying on top decking now. So, is what Louie top deck's going to get him back in this game? Yes, he's ahead of power, but the board control is all Rebecca. What are we going to see? Louie just making a little joke that every other card in Rebecca's deck is probably Dracarys. She's probably playing what, 15? 20 of them? It kind of feels that way sometimes when you're playing against Targ, but then when you're playing as Targ, you feel like 3 is never enough, you need more. Like, yeah, oh well. We'll see what happens. What did Louie draw? I think I missed my chance to see his hand. I played Sea Tower, and 1 gold. Oh, for another raiding longship. So he's got 2. So we can get take 2 characters out of a challenge. Louie potentially going to be able to get quite a few unopposed. But if he does, he's going to leave himself really open to the offense on return. Paying. Saving 6, so... Oh! And Yes, it's a pillage deck because that's a loot. So loot is fine if you're playing against. It's not fine. It's a terrible, terrible card. Loot is there if you're playing against someone who's got no hand and going to play everything out and have loads of gold left over. Fine, whatever. But if you're playing against someone who knows how to manage their hand and progressively slowly eke things out onto the board without overextending themselves, key play there. It's not going to do anything for you. And even when it does do something for you, yes, he's got the crone to potentially kill one of the cards that he pillages. I can't personally see the benefit. I'm not sure what that other location is. I think it's a Targaryen reducer. So 5 gold and a reducer. We could see a Drogo here. I wonder what turns up. I think this is the point in the game where Louie really needs to play more defensively. Probably not. Maybe make an intrigue challenge with the Handmaiden and then defend military with Euron, defend intrigue with the Crone but lose, prevent Rebecca getting too much unopposed power and kind of steamrolling the power. Oh, Jogo, I love that card. I love that card. He is bonkers. He is absolutely bonkers good. Getting that stealth because Ricardo is there, and getting plus X strength where X is the number of characters in your opponent's dead pile. Holy shit. I don't play Targ, but like, traditionally I don't play Targ. I've built Targ decks and I've played Targ, but I don't. Traditionally, it's not the house that I lean towards, but he is mental. I've played a game against Rebecca where he was strength. It was about strength 10, I think, at least. Between Dracarys and Put to the Sword and everything else, it can be mental. Ooh, Rebecca defending with everything. Because she doesn't want 2 removing and him getting off a Put to the Sword just in case. Maybe slightly cautious play here. I don't think a Put to the Sword would hurt him too much. You're on 5 strength. Rebecca having to pay claim here. Probably going to get rid of the Jeep on the dragon. So playing very defensively here. I don't think if I was Louie, I maybe wouldn't have used the 2 raiding longships. I would have said, no, fine, you win that on defense, and I will get an unopposed intrigue and power. But it's fine. He committed to the challenge and then felt like he had to continue committing. That's another play decision that some people who kind of newer to the game often do. Rebecca deciding to play defensive this round, which is quite interesting. Oh no, Rebecca attacking, sorry. Louie then passed. Louie defending the challenge. Rebecca stealing the power. She's going to stand up, obviously. They missed the window there for that, but Rebecca doing an intrigue as well. Defended by the crone. She wins it again. What is it? It's loot. And Rebecca probably not very nonplussed about losing a loot. And Louie gets done because of his gold. So, Louie still sat on 6 power. Rebecca now sat on 4. Eking her way back into this game. Considering the amount of control she has on the board, it is surprising it's this slow of a trickle. But one of the reasons why Rebecca is such a good player in tournaments is because she plays very cautiously. She thinks about every potential thing that your opponent could ever do. So like in that last round we saw her defend with everything just in case Louie had the Put to the Sword. This means that some of her games go longer than they potentially need to because she's playing around things that probably aren't there. But it means that she never makes the mistake that loses the game. Never, for example, puts the Balon into a challenge when Daenerys is standing and there's a potential Dracarys. Sorry, Louie. Wildfire there on Louie's side, getting rid of Dracarys. Easy choice for her so that she can continue to threaten the Dracarys. And it's sad though losing that card, but you do what you have to do. And first snow on Rebecca's side, which is going to get rid of the Crone and the Handmaiden and leave a Duke Euron standing there by himself. So if Rebecca is going to be playing Marched, next turn's potentially the turn to do it. Louie using... Ooh! Louie using 2 King's Roads to get off an Illyrio, meaning he can attack with Euron and then defend with Euron. But Rebecca has got a Rhaegal there, who she can save and then potentially kill. Gonna... Oh! Crown of Gold, been in her hand since the beginning of the game, holding on to it for the perfect time, meaning that Euron is going to be there by himself. Rhaegal is still there. Louie now only going to get 1 use out of Euron. I think he has to pass. Pass. Ah! Louie not passing. The reason you pass... maybe you don't pass. Do the military. Play Nightmares. Ah, nice. Lovely little play of the Nightmares on the Sea Stone chair, blanking it, then she can let it go unopposed and kill the dragon. So interesting decision here. One of the reasons why I like Rebecca's Tyr Crossing deck so much is because it plays First Snow. People often don't expect it out of a crossing deck, and because of the Blood Riders, you're actually quite nicely teched for First Snow. You play a lot of dupes of your unique 2 and 3 cost characters, the Dragons and Jorah, and with Jogo and the Unsullied, you've got some nice 4 cost characters as well. So I don't think it's bad call. Rebecca doing a military, getting it unopposed, going to kill the dupe off Euron. Rebecca now sat on 6 power to Louis' 7. Rebecca now being able to get off a power challenge. I asked how many cards Louis got to see whether she needed to keep controlling his hand, but she didn't. Especially as he's got all the gold and hasn't played anything. Considering the number of characters she's played, she's probably killed the things in his hand. Rebecca now sat on 8 power, and this game is running away. Louis calming military. Unfortunately, after that amazing start, has now put himself in a situation where he needs to protect his single character. Unfortunately, Rebecca must not be playing Marched, which is sad, but in a more rushy build of Tyr with crossing, I don't think that's necessarily a terrible decision. And that close call can really save you when one of your characters inadvertently dies. Moving Jogo back into her alive pile. So you quite often see people playing close call preemptively like this. I think if I play close call in my plot deck, I wait until I draw the character that's in a dead pile. Yes, it means that card is dead in your hand for a turn, but that's injury claim, fine. Wait till you've got it in your hand, then play it, because it might so happen that maybe she's got another Rhaegal in the deck that she draws this turn, and then she can't play because he's dead. But I like this. Nice small boards, impactful characters. Yeah. Rebecca just quite handily taking advantage of these smaller boards better than Louie is. Louie also maintaining quite a good hand. Louie's been not. Louie getting a crone and another handmaiden back from obviously after first snow. Kneeling his reducer and getting another ship. All 3 raiding longship. So, that's going to be a lot of unopposed challenges for him if he was able to commit his board. So, what is Rebecca's response to this going to be? Kneel both reducing locations and play out her own handmaid. Quite nice. I can't imagine she's going to... Well, maybe she'll use it to stand Daenerys, get 2 insight draws. I think it's that insight that has really swung this game, kept Rebecca in it, meant that she kept drawing cards. Obviously that Balon misplay was quite key, but that insight on Daenerys has been very helpful as well. It's been the defining difference between Louie not being able to play very many cards and Rebecca consistently being able to play out characters and have the tools that she needs. Getting out her own Illyrio and keeping what looks like 1 gold, I think. So, what are we going to see? Going to see a military challenge from Euron. Playing a Nightmares on the Sea Stone. Very nice, exactly what she wanted to see. Because if she hadn't, she'd only be able to defend with Recaro. He'd be bounced out of the challenge with the raiding longship. As it is, she just loses a handmaiden rather than losing Recaro, Daenerys, any of the things that she doesn't really want to lose right now. Oh, she now still has the icons that she'll need to get off her crossing trigger. Very nice draw there. As I said, the draw is really saving, making sure that Rebecca stays ahead in this game now. Louie realising that Rebecca's going to get the challenges through, maybe overcommitting, getting rid of a Drogo. I probably would have played a little bit more defensively. Trying to force through that military to kill Daenerys is probably the right play. But staring down at that board, I'd always be tempted to defend a bit more. Getting unopposed, military, claim, the crone, getting the power on Recaro. Rebecca now sat on 10 power. Unopposed intrigue, power claim, and crossing. Puts her on 13. Louie wins Dom though. No, obviously he can defend the he can defend one of those challenges, so she's only going to be on 12. But she's going to get the insight off with Daenerys. Reaction with crossing. Claim 1 power. No. Having to remind Louie about the claim. Louie sat on 8 power. Louie winning Dom, back on 9. Rebecca on 13 power. Rebecca on 13 power. So, confiscation. Rebecca having to get rid of her own milk. As her last plot. As I said, guys, long game, but I think Rebecca closes it out this turn. Seeing Asher would be nice for Louie. Rebecca's probably now run out of nightmares. But... interesting. Yeah, not sure. Getting another dragon out, still got plenty of money left. Paying some more gold, getting out a Jorah for the renown, and getting another Arak, meaning that Rhaenyra can't be bounced out of a challenge. So Rebecca has consistently found every answer that she needs to the Sea Stone chair throughout this game, saving her having to play around it. The one turn she had to play around it, she defended with the 3 characters, obviously, but either has had the Arak or has had 2 Nightmares, got the Arak again, just consistently being able to get it through. And Louie getting a Chud and a Reducer location, and loads of money left over to win him Dom, but I don't think the game's going to last that long. Rebecca needs 2 power. At least I think that's what she's showing us, with the 2 lovely little power tokens that she's got there. What is she going to do? Probably choosing to go first here, and what does she do? Let's see. Military with both. Oh, yeah. Military for 5, 8. Gets the power for Rhaenyra, gets the renown on Jorah, closes the game. Can Louie do anything? Game over. Well done, Rebecca. Powered through that game, came back from a negative start there. I do think the losing that Balon on Louie's part probably swung that game completely in Rebecca's favour, and it was just a case of waiting for her to eke it out. So, guys, I hope you join us. I hope you enjoyed the game, and I hope you join us next week, next Tuesday. If you've got any comments for the players, please leave them below. Yeah. See you next Tuesday. Bye.